Okay. I'll see. I'll try to do this as quickly as possible. So this is the art project. I wasn't planning on doing this, but we just got these really cool, they're tempura quick sticks. The ones that Janine Pitta brought to the art or the fame lesson were similar to this, and she just did mention that she got them for her kids for Christmas, and they are really great. They're very low mess, and they dry in 90 seconds, and so they're really easy to use. And so we're gonna see how this goes. And I got let's see, I got 16 sets for each school. So if you just have 2 students pair up and use a set, that should be fine for the very largest classes that we have to deal with. So we'll go ahead and get started. I created this handout. It's on cardstock, so you can pass these out to the kids. And initially I was thinking this art project would be something that they could try to, the older grades could try to make it look really realistic or whatever. But I did it in 7 classes last week at Parkmont, and all 7 classes, including the the kindergarten classes, did an amazing job. And basically, because we're studying Matisse and the fact that he was a Fauvist painter, well, I mean, he did tons of things, but the painting that we're looking at is a Fauve painting, that they should try to use that style, post-impressionism, that the flowers really shouldn't try to make them look real. And that takes a lot of pressure off the kids and lets them be really creative with their color and the design that they use. And so I told them that, like, the blue-gray that the vase is painted on in the painting, they can do whatever they want. They can paint the background like Matisse did in different patchwork kind of wavy lines and stripes and whatever they want, if they have time to do the background. So what I did initially is I just took with each of the kids, I just put a magnet up on the board and just did one with them initially. And they don't need to start with pencil. What I did is I just had them start by drawing. They would take the green, and they have a couple of greens in here, and so they can use whichever one they want, but they can go through and make the stems that they want and just tell them, they can go back through and add if they want, but that they can try to make them look like Matisse's if they want, but really this is more of an exercise for them to try to do what they want and try to use the brightest colors, make it really vibrant and happy. So they can, there are a few blues. We've got this like really dark purple here. And see, I'm using this, this is the one that's at Niles, and there's another vase of flowers that the kids will have at Parkmont. And this one, the flowers aren't fantastic and the arrangement's not that pretty. I put some Velcro around it so it should stay together. But you can go ahead and use this, but then just make sure that they know they do not need to make it look exactly like this, and they could really look at the more at the painting if they wanted. So what I had them do is they could do different things. So they have these kind of flowers that come out. There are a few in the Parkmont one. There's a lot more of them, but it's easy for them to just take a long stem and just kind of add the color to the stem, and they can make, because they don't need to look like perfect little flowers, it doesn't matter what these look like. Or they could add another flower down here that is just dots. They can do a lot of things with dots, and then they could go back in that with maybe even some yellow in the middle. They could even, put a little yellow into the flower. They can take, I did a few tulips, and so they can just kind of make the look of a tulip, but then they can add different colors to that. So say this one, they want to make look a little orangey and add that in, or the white is actually really good for that, for lightening it up. And Matisse did use white quite a bit. So if they want, they can do whatever they want and mix in the different colors. But the key for them is to make sure that they know that whatever they do, none of it's wrong, and it doesn't matter how these look. They can, I did a bunch of bluebells because the kids do like to use blue a lot. I did bluebells because it just looked fun to have but the bluebells do not need to actually look like the bluebell flowers, just having the blue dots down them. Let's see, what were some of the other things we did? Like if you look at this, there's some purple in there. This dark purple, I'm not sure what this looks like, but we can try it. So you can do, this is a fun color. You can make the flowers really just like this. And then if you add to them just with a little bit, just adding a few leaves around it or little petals around it, that's kind of fun. And then to go back in and just add some yellow. If you can see, it's really not very hard to make the flowers because we're not trying to be perfect with them. And then if they wanted to do daisies, they can do the same thing with the yellow and just kind of, they can look like mums. They can make the flowers circular, and they can add little, they can add the green leaves if they want to add little buds along the stem and add leaves to it. But as you can see, within just a minute or two, they have, there's a lot of fun here. A lot of the kids liked to do like a round flower and then, another, like as if it was kind of a rose. They did layers of color and just kept going. And those were actually really fun. So as you can see, let's see, in 5 minutes, this is basically done. And then you would just add in the stripes or patterns in the back, and they can color this in. They can really kind of go for broke on the vase and try to put a lot of color in. So I just wanted you guys to see what these paints were like, and I think they're fantastic, fun, and now see they're dry and they don't smudge like a lot of the other ones that we've used, or we've had messier projects so far this year. So this one will be a really easy one for your kids. And I'll send some pictures of my kindergartners all the way through 5th grade. And man, the kindergartners looked just as good as the 5th graders. It was really fun, and they all really enjoyed it. So I hope you try the project out. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out, I did make 250 copies for each school, but do make sure that you save the template in the manila folder and make more copies for you. I think I have 3 extra reams of cardstock in each of the wagons. So in the PTA room in Parkmont, I know it's on a shelf, and I think I put an extra couple of reams, Niles too, on a shelf. So just look for the yellow reams of paper, and the outside is yellow. And that's the cardstock that we can use for this project, and just make copies for your class if there aren't any. Anyway, I hope you like it.